Hey everyone, Osborne here, bringing you another version of Starcraft. This version will be a Protoss versus Terran matchup on the Shattered Temple. This game being brought to me by one of my friends at the Exodus clan that's based out of d2dgamer.com. Saw that I was trying to fish the forums for some games, was kind of coming up short, so he sent me one of his own personal replays that he hasn't actually uploaded. And we'll see what he does in this game. So, introducing these players, I'm not going to tell you which ones, who sent it in. If you're in d2dgamer.com community, you'll already know this. But in the blue Terran uniform, we have on the left side of the southern spawn point up at the Shattered Temple, Merakei, or Merakei, however you pronounce that. And then his opponent, in the close by air position, right on the southernmost spawn point in the Shattered Temple, we have Serder. He is playing Protoss and will be wearing red this game. Shattered Temple, very, very standard map to go on. It came back with a vengeance this season, and it came back without close by ground positions. So, say I'm talking about Serder here, it would be impossible for anyone to spawn if he was here. It would be impossible for anyone to spawn close by ground, which would be this spawn right here. Close by air is still obviously possible, as we have it this game. And we've got a pretty standard build coming up. Walling off is Merakei, so that's going to be a little strange, honestly. Walling off against the Protoss, but stranger things have happened. It's good to deny that scouting information. No 15 orbital command, as you can see, because there is a 16th SCV on its way. Will he go it on the 16? Will he do it on 17? Because he made a Marine. I can only assume that he will because he is saving up for it, and there is the orbital command about to finish, not about to finish, but just now getting started. It's pretty fast. Does it pretty quickly. Cybernetics core coming down for Serder. Second gas coming down for him as well, so gonna be a little bit of a heavy gas type scenario. Oh, he tries to hide a probe, but does not succeed. He will, in fact, kill it off. So, no more sacrificial probe to get any kind of scouting information past this point. Got a scouting SCV coming up, looking around, seeing what's going on. It sees that Chrono Boost is being applied to the Cybernetics core. Can only assume that that means it is going to be Warp Gate technology. We've got a factory coming up, so looks like a possible 1-1-1 build with the refinery coming down at 21 food. Very standard for the 1-1-1. See what he does, actually. Another gateway coming up, so a 2-gate heavy gas. Up, third gate coming down, 3-gate heavy gas. Probably going to be a heavy sentry kind of expansion build here. 3-gate expand with heavy sentries. Pretty standard stuff. Not so standard on close by air, just because of the potential drop possibilities. Usually you want to get some stalkers out, but we'll have to see what happens. It looks like Serder is in the lead with Chrono Boost leading the way for all those probes. And it looks like actually it's pretty good. And here comes the starport with the abandoned tech facility, or the tech lab. And it looks like he will immediately just land it right on there, make a, what is he? That was weird. That was a weird, little highlight thing. What is he going to do with the factory? Nothing so far, but Cloak and Banshees are coming out of that starport. So the 1-1-1 is a complete and total go here. It definitely looks like a 1-1-1 to me, although he's not making a tech lab on his factory. It's very strange, actually. No add-ons on his barracks. Nothing too suspicious, just like a basic 1-1-1, but without the tech lab on the factory. Actually, nothing is coming out of the factory, so it's not a 1-1-1. What could he possibly be doing? hasn't made a second starport, so it's not 2-port Banshee either. Expansion coming down, so it can't be too cheesy, so that's what the 2-port Banshee would kind of mean, is that a big cheese is coming. 2-port Banshee I consider cheese just because it is so very difficult to scout because it comes in so early. Especially if Terran walls off like this and there's no observer. And here comes the first Banshee kind of revealing his hand here. I'm not quite sure if I agree with this, but it will get plenty of kills. Let's see how much it gets. 2, 3, 4. Sending over an Immortal for absolutely no reason. There's nothing it can do other than kind of stand underneath the cloaked Banshee. Oh man. Chrono boosting out that observer. It's going to get us another kill though. 7 kills. One of them was a sentry, and away goes the Banshee. Just in time for that observer to come out and be completely useless. Although the observer will just kind of, you know, cross this little ravine and kind of see what's going on. But Terran Merakei on the ball definitely knows that there's an observer here, and he will get his missile turrets up to prevent any kind of meaningful scouting. Where'd it go? Here it is. Though Serder, he's going to lose his observer. He's not careful. Oh, and there it goes. Down in 3 hits as it does. Not what you want to see, but it did see the build of Merakei, so he knows that there is an expansion coming down. He is poised to take it out. Let's see what he can do. Although there are Banshees here, so, and they can cloak, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. Trying to take out the sentries. Oh man, is he going to be able to deny this base? It looks like he will. Merakei cancels what I can only assume was an orbital command. Actually, it might not have been. It might have been a planetary fortress, but he will not be able to take out the natural expansion. I'm sorry. And it looks like he will lose his entire force. He needs to focus on that Immortal. There you go. And these 2 Banshees are just going to wreak havoc on these Zealots. 2 Zealots do make it home. They are just running their little legs off, trying to get home, trying to survive. What is Serder's response to this? He puts down a forge, and that's really all he can do. He has his second base up, so that might give him a slight advantage. He needs a little bit more production as it turns to anti-air, because these observers, they're really nice. But I think that a few cannons and a bunch of stalkers would do much better against a Banshee-using foe. A planetary fortress coming up for Merakei, so I'm not sure if he did it before, but he is now, and that's a very, very risky kind of business. I mean, actually, no, I guess it would be more risky to do the orbital, so it's a very safe thing to do. Trying to get that orbital... shit, just speaking all over the place. Trying to get that planetary in place so that a attack on the natural does not do too much damage. We'll have to see what Serder does. I wouldn't think DTs would be too bad of an issue right here. No detection here, and that only 1 orbital command. He's definitely going to be using that for mules, because he is kind of behind because he used this planetary instead of an orbital. 3rd command center coming down, so he is fully committed to this 3 starport Banshee production. You definitely need more than 1 base for that, and probably more than 2, honestly. Just not enough gas incoming from just the 4 refineries. Bringing up a bunker and trying to wall off this area right here. Not quite sure how effective that will be against the Protoss army. Here comes a little strike force of 4 Banshees doing plenty of damage to these stalkers, not doing nearly... Oh my gosh, he lost all of his stalkers. Will he lose any of the Banshees? No, micros them back. Well done, well executed attack, just a little bit of harassment, taking out some stalkers for free. And Serder is just kind of back on the ropes, honestly. He doesn't really have anything in response to this Banshee pressure. Not quite sure what he can do other than try and make as many stalkers as he can. But even if he makes a bunch of stalkers and even goes into Phoenix production, Banshees are... they're pretty They do a lot of damage, I'm just say that. They're pretty fragile, but they can do a lot of damage. Let's see how much they do. For those of you who don't know, 24 damage per strike is very significant. This Banshee taking the break, getting repaired. These 5 Banshees gonna come out here, try and take out a free Stalker, and they do. Gonna get a little bit more, I think. No, he decides to back off. Can't say that I blame him there. Very good strategy. Has a Raven up, so that's going to completely negate the Stalker attacks. Not quite sure what he thinks he's going to do with these Vikings. Maybe just kind of put them in position. Oh, he's going to kill the Observer. Oh, very, very smart. Very smart idea from Merakei. Taking out that Observer with that Raven and the Vikings. Very nice. That third is up, but he is not doing anything with it quite yet, as the rocks have not yet been knocked down. As I say that, they come down. And how many SCVs will be Maynarded up? We'll have to find out now. Find out now? No? Not going to do anything with the third base? Alright. Well, I guess he's a little bit too busy picking off these Stalkers. One Banshee does go down, finally. High Templar coming up. I'm not sure how effective High Templar are going to be, though. Feedback, not very effective against Banshees who actually have Cloak, as that pretty much eats up all of their energy fairly quickly. Not a lot of anything really other than Banshees, so an attack on this might not be such a bad idea. Maybe get a little Warp Prism action going, try and spread these Banshees thin, because in small numbers they can be picked apart fairly easily. Oh, and here comes a big attack, gonna take out that probe, that poor helpless probe. Completely destroyed. Third base for Serder about halfway completed. And a fourth base coming up for Merakei. So Merakei is just expanding all over the map. Has not taken the gold, but does not need to at this juncture. He just has so much stuff. Serder has pretty much even in everything. So Serder a little bit less on the army supply, and his army does not include things that can't attack air. He's got a few Stalkers. 8 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, and 4 High Templar. That is not what you want. Maybe if you could morph the High Templar into a few Archons, that might be effective, but a whole bunch of Banshees coming out here. How many is that? That's 8 and 10? 11 Banshees. That's a lot of Banshees. That's a lot of damage. 240 damage a pop. That's nasty. Wants to be careful with his Observer. There's so much detection. There's so much he's going to lose the Observer. Oh, that's rough right there. You do not want to lose Observers. There's an unpowered Forge here. Just kind of hanging out, not doing too much. Serder's third base has completed, as has Merakei's fourth. So I don't want to say that this is over, but it's being very, very difficult for Serder to come back from this game. I don't know if he can actually do it. He may need to just try and get some Void Rays, honestly. Try and mass up some Void Rays to support those Stalkers. Needs something to kill all of those Banshees, and Void Rays do it pretty well. Although it may be a little too late for Void Rays, as they take so very long to make. Stargate does come up, and out comes a Phoenix. I'm not sure how effective Phoenix are going to be against those against that Viking support, but the wall-off is the partial wall-off, I should say, is complete. Can still get through here, but 3 bunkers is pretty standard against any kind of Protoss army, as Protoss do tend to take a lot of damage. Also, with any kind of good force fields, they can just block it off. Put one here, put one here, put one here, and the repair is just non-existent. You can't get a repair off because you can't get around it because there's a wall. So, I mean, using that wall against a Terran opponent, always what you want to strive to do when attacking. A lot of Zealots kind of used to break down these rocks. I think they would be better utilized trying to see what is going on up here, but there's planetary fortresses everywhere, so there's not much any Zealots can do, as they tend to bunch up, and planetary fortresses do splash damage. They are really good about killing stuff. Alright, let's see what's going on up in here. A little excursion into the middle of the map with a bunch of zealots that I'm not quite sure what he plans to do with. I guess he's thinking that the Banshees weren't the main focus of the build, which they have proven to be. And these Marines not paying attention are going to get completely destroyed by all of these zealots. Oh, that's very, very lucky to not get killed with those SCVs. I should say killed with the zealots. But no, I don't really know what I'm going for right there. That's very strange kind of grammar error to make. Lots of stalkers, not sure if it's enough. Because there is a lot of Banshees in the field, but they're all back here now retreating because they find out that, oh no, we're being attacked. But there's no observer, so I'm not sure what he plans to do about that. Oh man, this planetary fortress getting repaired like nobody's business, but it doesn't continue repair. He didn't put it on auto repair. Down goes the planetary fortress. Oh, we know he's... Okay, down it goes. Okay, there we go. PPD's coming down. Trying to pick off the Banshees that they can actually see. But there are just way too many Banshees. For some reason, he walls off the ramp. Not what he wanted to do. He needs to be able to get those Zealots into the base and do some significant damage. Way too late now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a sixth on the way. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what Serder can do at this point. Merakei has just completely obliterated all of the forces of Serder and is taking complete control of the map. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Banshees just in this cluster alone. If he has any more, definitely not what you want to see. And there's a probe saying, hey look, there's a fifth base. Well then, not what you want to see. A fourth base is coming up for Serder, but he has absolutely no defense. Trying to make some High Templar, maybe to try and morph into Archons to try and tank some of that damage. But there's just so much damage incoming from these Banshees. No way anything can be done. Few of them cloak, but there's no energy, so the feedbacks are completely useless. And they try very desperately to merge, but they will not see the light of day. Those Archons will die. Down goes the starport, and I think all hopes of Serder winning this match. It was well played, it was a good try, but just this build is very strong. Banshee's very, very difficult to beat. If you don't have a lot of Void Rays, if it's not scouted, very difficult to do, because all you can do is try and mass up some Phoenixes, and if they have any kind of anti-air, Phoenixes go down pretty hard. And down goes Serder's natural. Not much you can do about it. Down go all of the probes. It's almost painful to watch at this point just how much damage these Banshees can do. Oh. It's just, I guess, take a moment of silence for Serder as he doesn't really have anything in response to this. GG, well played is called. And that will be the end of that. Going to actually stop the game. There's a little bit of a Q&A going on for another like 10 minutes or so. Not going to watch that. But that has been Serder versus Merakei. A very strange build from Merakei, but it works splendidly. Completely curb stomping his Protoss opponent, and I can't say that he did anything wrong. I mean, if Serder had actually scouted, this game could have been taken a completely different turn, but he did not, and it has been a completely one-sided steamroll. Well, this has been Osborne. If you like the cast, please subscribe. I will see you guys next time.